Hey guys, today is July 22nd, 2025. We're going to go over a portfolio update with how the portfolio is going. I sold some stock today, some options, and also we'll take a look at what kind of interest I'm earning on my uninvested cash and also some crypto. Okay, so let's start off by looking at overview. Today we're up a little bit, about 0.5%. So I took the opportunity to go through my stocks and kind of shave off some dollars off the top of a bunch of stocks that have over time just been over about like 5% or more return, and went through, made some profit on those, so I'll show you how those have been going. So we're up a little bit today. We are up a little bit past week, up a little bit past month, almost 10% past 3 months. That's great. And year to date up around 4.37%, so not too bad. See that little triangle next to buying power? That means I'm approaching my margin limit. So if I go anytime I'm less than 5% away from going over that limit, that little triangle will appear, but I'm not worried about that because I don't have anything that would move against me, I don't think, that would push me over that limit, so I'm still good. And we can look at what options I have. I sold some ulti options today for 10 cents each. I put in an order for 10 cents, and all I do is wait about 60 seconds before it actually executed. So we have ulti, $6 put, pay, $20 put, sell, $55 put, YMAX, and YMAG. All same expiration, about a month from now on 8/15. So I got a little bit of money for entering those positions, and if they go below the strike prices, then it should execute where I'm forced to buy those underlying stocks at 100 shares each. Looking at cash, I'm earning 4% APY with gold. Interest accrued this month is $1.22. Cash earning interest is a little over 10 grand. So we can do some math here to find out how much I'm earning with interest. So we'll go to the calculator. $10,000 times 4% is, so $10,000 uninvested cash. It's just sitting there, not participating in any trades yet, times 4% APY, the annual percentage yield. So that's $400 divided by 360 days is a little over $1 a day. So that's pretty cool, earning about $1 a day by not doing anything, just letting the cash sit there, which is great. Looking at crypto's going crazy lately. Let's just peek at that. Recently, Robinhood has offered some staking earnings on Sol and Ethereum. So this is what I've earned so far on the staking. I staked some Ethereum, nothing earned yet because it takes a little while, it takes several days. With Sol, I'm earning 7.24% APY, which is more than I've seen at other places. Other places I've seen it at about 6.5%, so that's pretty good, but it does take several days for it to stake and unstake, but I'm not moving quickly with any of that, so that's fine by me. 20 cents earned. Oh, and it has a little timer seeing how long it's been staked. Lifetime earnings, 20 cents. All right. Okay, and then we'll look at the stocks and ETFs. So with these, I noticed that a lot of these, my percentage was a good amount on what I've earned so far. So what I did was I sorted the list of all my stocks and ETFs by total percent change. The arrow is pointing down, which means it's sorted by the most percentage return I've earned so far, all the way to the least, into the negative range. So for example, this net stock, ever since I bought it, the stock's gone up 99.43%, so the stock's almost doubled since I got into it. You can see my market value was at $10.59. Total return, if I sold everything, I would make $5.28, or in other words, make 99% return on my money, which is insane compared to, say, the overall stock market average return, or maybe a savings account. So that just shows the kind of power of getting into a stock with the stock market, but it could always move against you too, so the opposite is true. So you could make big returns on stocks, you can make huge losses on stocks too. So whatever, don't invest what you can't afford to lose, because it's not always going to go in your favor. So I sorted everything by the percentage. So what I did was I went into the first stock there. I saw, oh, I had so much there, trade, sell, and then it lets you sell fractional shares. So I could sell off, like, say, $10 at a time, $20 at a time, and then you can swipe left to get to the next stock. So that was the next highest percentage, and trade and sell and so on. So that's how you sort it, and that's how you can go through and see, kind of sell off a little bit of stocks that are doing well. On the other hand, you can see which ones are not doing well, that are in the red, that you've lost over time, some percentage, such as these. And if you want, and you could buy some more if you feel like it's at a dip, so that over time it can increase and you can make some profit on it. So I'll click on that little bell thing, and you can pause the video if you like to see which stocks I sold off, but these are the ones in bold that I recently sold. Sold a little bit of each of these because I'm just taking a little bit of profit right now that the markets are up. And I held them all this time from the past, taking a little bit of profit today. Lots of stocks, a little bit of each stock. And this helped offset some of the losses I've had. I'll show you that in a second. So we scroll down to our profit and loss. Yeah, let's click on that. Looking at stocks and ETFs year to date, even with all those sells I just did, see that little green bar all the way to the right on this chart, it was just a little bit offset compared to that huge red bar, which is when that iron options moved against me. You can see that $715 loss on that iron call assignment. And then you can see lots of tiny little profits adding up to overall offset that iron loss by a little bit. But looking at strictly stocks and ETFs year to date, I'm down $903. But if we look at options, I'm up $1,389, and that's, I think, mostly from selling puts, getting a little bit of profit here and there. And see these put expirations, that's the money I received for entering those contracts, and then expiration date rolls around, they never executed. I was never forced to buy those stocks at that strike price, so it just disappears and I get to keep all that profit, which is pretty cool if you think about it. Overall, making over $1,000 since 2025 started. Lots of green bars, just a little red bar. Lots of green bars there, so that's pretty cool. Just kind of making profit out of thin air, it feels like. So if you look at everything, options versus all the stocks and ETFs, I'm still positive, even though we had that huge hit from the iron options. But overall, year to date, still positive, $45. And hopefully that will, that trend will continue after these options up here expire in a month. And I'll get to keep the profit. Options expire worthless. But if they don't, if I'm forced to buy them, I'm okay with it because I actually do want to get into those stocks. So that's how the portfolio is going today. If you find this video helpful, go ahead and give it a like. Consider subscribing. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.